Me Up with Roisin and Chleirigh.
We all want to stay safe and protect each other from coronavirus. We do this by cleaning our hands, social distancing and covering sneezes and coughs. We can also do this by wearing a face covering. Face coverings help prevent people who don't know they have the virus from spreading it to others. They should be worn anywhere it's difficult to stay 2 meters apart, like shops or public transport, or when visiting anyone who's more at risk. Wear a face covering. Stay safe. Protect each other. See hse.ie for more.
You're listening to the Start Me Up Business Programme with Roisin and Chleirigh. You can text us on 086 353 7782. You're very welcome and good afternoon. You're listening to the Start Me Up Business Programme here on Community Radio Kilkenny City 88.7 FM. And we are your only community radio station here in the heart of Kilkenny City. On Friday the 5th of June, the government agreed to accelerate the roadmap for reopening society and for business. And this has been made possible thanks to all the Irish people and the public for keeping with all the guidelines. And this has enabled the local businesses to actually open up earlier, opening ready for business. And last week we discussed the start of the second phase, because on last Monday we went into the second phase of the reopening and restarting businesses and society. We were talking last week to the head of finance in the county council, Martin Penderville, about the restart COVID-19 restart grant and businesses which were able to apply for them, which was ratepayers. We also spoke and discussed the government guidelines in reopening for businesses with the health and safety expert Orla Deegan from Choice Training and Consultancy. And then we finished off the programme. We were talking to local Fine Gael County Councillor David Fitzgerald, and many of our listeners would be aware that David was instrumental in establishing the City Centre Task Force and putting the forum in place to support local businesses and jobs in the city centre pre-COVID-19. And David was on the programme and he was talking to us about the businesses reopening and how we all would be significant that the local businesses were reopening, and the importance of being far more innovative and how small businesses can do businesses in pivoting their business, repositioning and adapting to the challenges which are ahead of us. For example, David also mentioned that small businesses going online and providing a click and collect service where people could still buy local and yet they starting buying online, which everybody is more in the habit of doing. And we just want to reiterate here on the Start Me Up Business Programme and Community Radio Kilkenny City that our message is we can do this. We are in this together, so let's work together as a community. Let's shop and buy local and as customers and consumers. And for small local businesses, let's be innovative and adapt to the changes and challenges which are ahead of us and pivot our business. We here on Community Radio Kilkenny City, we are here to help and enable and empower our local businesses in reopening and rebuilding our local economy into a thriving city and centre that it was prior to COVID-19. So together as a community, local businesses and your local radio here on Community Radio Kilkenny City, we can make this happen, and let's make the high street and our city strong again. And now on this week's Start Me Up Business Programme, a little later on, I will be speaking to Leslie Clear, manager of the City Centre's Market Cross Shopping Centre, and I should be discussing the issues of the stores that are back trading in this Market Cross, the queue system, the shopping centre guidelines, safety protocols, consumer confidence and the changed customer. Then at the end of the programme, we will be speaking, as we will continue on until the end of the phases of reopening. We'll be speaking to health and safety expert Orla Deegan, and we'll be joined on her at the end of the programme, and Orla will be talking about the government's guidelines and the return to work retail shopping centres. But before that, we are taking the advice of Councillor David Fitzgerald on shops pivoting and changing and adapting and starting to trade online. And on the line now to discuss the trading online voucher scheme from the Enterprise Board is Catherine Hennessey. Catherine Hennessey, very much welcome to the Community Radio Kilkenny City Start Me Up Business Programme.
Thank you, Roisin.
Catherine, the online trading voucher scheme, what is it? And who was it? Why was it designed? And who can avail of it? If you could tell us that.
Well, the trading online voucher scheme is whereby a qualifying business can apply for funding towards developing a trading online presence, an e-commerce website, or creating an online payment system via their website. I suppose this scheme has been in place for a number of years now, but owing to, I suppose, the impact of COVID on businesses, there has been changes to the scheme whereby the maximum value of the grant available is now $2,500, but it's covered at 90% of the cost. Previously, it was just up to 50%. So that's been quite a substantial change in the terms and conditions.
And Catherine, who can avail of this scheme, this trading online scheme?
Well, I suppose it's open to a lot of businesses, small businesses employing 10 or less, who have a limited or no online trading presence at the moment and want to create that shopping presence or experience for their customers, or to create a payment system where, for service-related businesses, for example, they can get their customers to pay online via their website. Applicants must be trading for at least 6 months and based here in County Kilkenny.
This is really good initiative and course, because a lot of people, especially startups or people who are already in business, maybe trading in the high street or the city centre or small shops around the county, we may be operating, but we may not have done that switch to online trading and getting people to either book our services or buy our products online and first and actually pay online. And that's very critical, that we actually adapt and make that change, isn't it, to stay relevant?
Yeah, I suppose the issues with social distancing now, I suppose it's creating a number of issues for our businesses. So, for example, cafes, you can order and collect your item rather than waiting in a queue, perhaps. So that mechanism is there where you can pre-order, pay for it and then collect it rather than waiting in a queue, for example, for cafes. Also, we've seen a lot of local businesses who did have an online presence already found that their sales did increase there during the period that people were still purchasing, and the fact that they had that online presence did help them. So I think people have got used to more doing business online. I know we have, in terms of some of our training courses now have moved, well, all of our training courses are gone virtual now at the moment. So businesses have had to adapt, and I suppose we've embraced the technology as well. So I think while the physical, we've seen the queues, outside the shops, I think people still like that physical presence, but I think we can supplement it with the trading online presence as well.
Because I think when you have that sort of face-to-face purchasing or business, it's a real social interaction. However, even as your example there for the cup of coffee, when people are in a rush in their lunch break and they're saying, oh my God, I can pre-order and pay for my cup of coffee, my sandwich at lunch, and just go and collect it. And that also is a really good resource for businesses to have, because there isn't a big queue or pile up in the cafe.
Yeah, no, I think, and that's something that could be looked at under the trading online voucher scheme. Yeah.
What sort of topics and areas does the online trading voucher in the training sessions cover? And also, how is it an online virtual training, or is it one-to-one?
Well, the trading online voucher scheme, I suppose there's an application process involved. So it would involve, there's an application form to be completed. 3 quotations would need to be sought for the web development works that you're hoping to undertake, and also as part of that, attendance at an information seminar event. So here in Kilkenny, we're doing that on a one-to-one level over the phone with individuals, so that they can customise, I suppose, their queries that they may have about the scheme and the various terms and conditions that are attached, and also to help them to seek those 3 quotations, I suppose, to put together a website proposal document that they can circulate out to web developers to get the 3 quotes, and also to be able to compare like with like then when they do get the return of those quotes. So the one-to-one session is the first stage in the process. And then from that you can go ahead and complete the application form and get the 3 quotes and then submit to ourselves for review.
So I'm just going to reaffirm, so apply through an application form, and then once the application form is through, they would have a one-to-one, and they have to have 3 quotations from website designers.
Yes, so the application process, the first stage is that information session. So as I said, that's on, it's an information meeting about the whole terms and conditions of the scheme, and also to discuss the website proposal. So that's with one of our mentors, and it's done on a one-to-one level. After the meeting, the application form will be forwarded to you if you want to proceed. And then you would go ahead and complete the application form along with getting the 3 quotations. And on a weekly basis, on or before every Friday at the moment, to meet with the demand, we have deadlines. So you would submit in the application along with the 3 quotes on or before the deadline, and then it's reviewed again by our mentors here, and it is forwarded, if everything's in order, to our evaluation committee, who have the final decision for approval. So it's from that date then that you get that letter of offer. You can go ahead and get the work done, pay for it, and then claim back the 90% that's approved. Now that's to a max of 2,500 net of that.
Okay.
So that's the process involved.
The process,
Roisin.
yes. So then the training sessions. Can you talk to us about the training sessions and what topics will be covered in the training sessions?
Well, as I said, the training session here in Kilkenny is done on a one-to-one level. So that's where the mentor would sit down and go through the application form with you in detail, and also to outline, I suppose, what's your current trading position. Do you have a website presence? Do you have a social media presence? Are you integrating the 2 of them? How do you hope to integrate them in the future? What you're hoping to achieve with the voucher, and I suppose how you would outline that in a proposal document that you can circulate to web developers. What would be covered in the information session.
So that sort of really covers as well where and what the funding can be used towards, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And how are you finding, I suppose really through the COVID-19, although everybody else has been sort of with the restrictions staying at home, you probably have been busier more than ever, have you?
Yes, it's been very busy, I suppose, not for maybe the right reasons, but yeah, we have been busier than ever in terms of queries, in terms of, the supports that we've had. So we've had the business continuity voucher scheme, which closed there last month. The trading online voucher, we've received an additional allocation of that. So it was oversubscribed there, and we've secured additional funding. Also the Restart grant that's available, Martin Prentice spoke about it last week, that's available through the local authority. And also we have been running a number of training courses, as I said to you, online. We've had to change our method of delivery, and there's been a good take-up on that as well. We've been covering topics, I suppose, that have been critical to people. For example, we've one tomorrow about HR policies and the impact of COVID, what you need to have in place now as a result of COVID-19 and opening up your businesses again. So they're the kind of supports we've had on offer, and our mentoring is also there available. So, for example, we've business and financial clinics and one-to-one clinics available for people later on this month as well.
So tell us about, you've had the courses running over the COVID-19 and you've been pivoting them and adjusting on a weekly basis to what your clients' needs are, the business needs are. Tell us about the autumn training. As you said earlier on in the phone call, that usually you sort of slow down on the training in June and July and possibly August because of people are on holidays, and I suppose now everybody will be reopening their business, so they won't have time to actually go on training courses. So you'll probably be recommencing training in the autumn time.
Yeah, our main schedule of courses will be available again in the autumn. They usually start off in September, and I suppose we'll have a limited number running over July and August. That'll be subject to demand. As you said, Roisin, people are going to be concentrating now on reopening their business So at the same time, I suppose that was available over the last few months won't be there for dedicating to training courses. It'll be more, I suppose, having a presence in the business and working on operational tasks that they have. So we'll be looking at running our main training courses, but they will possibly be online as opposed to in a physical location in the autumn. So we'll have those available for booking, I would say, from August onwards.
And I suppose everything is about really getting the message out there that Kilkenny City is back open for business, and also local business owners who aren't in the high street get online, avail of this online trading voucher scheme, and really start to just adjusting to the changes that need to be taken in place to keep your business relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be an additional element. It may not take away from the physical aspect of your business, but I think it will help with sales, and people have got accustomed now to buying online over the last few months and availing of online services. So I think it is a need for businesses to be online and to adjust what they have been doing maybe traditionally in the past. So it is the opportunity, I suppose. The voucher scheme is there up to the end of September, subject to funding. So it is an opportune time to avail of the grant scheme.
My next question is what people have put to me, and also my own question, who wouldn't be so technologically savvy and digital savvy, to the people about what would your message be to the people who haven't got a digital strategy and would be sort of afraid of, so not afraid, some people would be over a certain age, they wouldn't sort of be familiar with going digital. What would your message be to them?
Well, I think we can all learn, and it's never too late to, and we have the support there in terms of our mentors who will talk you through the process and help you in terms of identifying maybe what areas you need to develop in the first instance, and how to avail of the voucher if it's to create that online trading presence. So there is support there even for those who are unsure, and I suppose that's the idea of the one-to-one information session, to go through that with you.
It's a really, really good scheme, and I'm sure an awful lot of people will be signing up for it, Catherine, and it's very much needed. And even for the people who have procrastinated, put it on the long finger, it's about time that we all got online.
Yeah, I suppose we no longer look at that physical phone book as an example. You know, we all tend to Google now if we're looking for something. So particularly, you know, the younger generation. But I think during COVID-19, people have, we've people of elderly grandparents who have got used to using Zoom calls and keeping in contact with people. So I think, the dynamics have changed over time. So yes, it is, I suppose, the time to look at it anyway and see is it something that would be of benefit to your business.
Well, Catherine Hennessey, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us on the Start Me Up Business programme here on Community Radio Kilkenny City, and maybe you'll keep us updated with any changes or anything, any new sort of grants or schemes that might come in for local businesses here in Kilkenny.
Yes, Roisin, I'll thank you for the opportunity this afternoon, and yes, I'll keep you updated if there's any new developments or changes over time.
Well, Catherine Hennessey, Business Advisor for the County Kilkenny Leo Enterprise Board, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Roisin.
Thank you. We're going to take a short commercial break, but after the break, we'll be talking to Leslie Clear, Manager of Market Cross Shopping Centre here in the heart of Kilkenny on our High Street. So do stay tuned. You're listening to the Start Me Up Business programme with Roisin and Chleirigh. You can text us on 086 353 7782.